Scouting points are earned every week. Use all of your points because a portion of the remaining points will be lost when you advance the week. Now, the good news, Coach, is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn... Scouting points are earned every week. Use all of your points because a portion of the remaining points will be lost when you advance the week. Now, the good news, Coach, is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. This is taken at his 4.
At their own 18-yard line.
Here we go. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
They'll run on first down. Tate. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Oh, you got deep?
On second down, it's Tate. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Prescott. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
A 2-yard loss brings up 3rd down and 12.
Mike 54.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
Even after the penalty, still a full 7 yards to go on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
And this will do the job nicely as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Wilson. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Now Wilson back into his end zone. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain. On 1st down, Tate, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. It's no secret that this is a team that's built on passing, but as you always tell me, you have to throw the run in there every now and then to keep that pass sharp.
Yeah, you have to, because otherwise, if they never have to worry about running the football, it is just a controlled sprint to your quarterback, and eventually, you're calling it
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jalen Smith leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And it's complete to Kelsey. That's good for 28 yards.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Here we go. Here it comes.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Tate, and they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine, I marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Prescott from the gun. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 6.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play, and facing a 2nd and long. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons. The first down carry by Elliott. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Olivier Vernon in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. at the half. A reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now it's Wilson. Flush to his right. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense, Prescott stripped. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line. A little careless with a football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. Throwing is Wilson, forced out to his left. And a penalty flag is down to the backfield as they finally bring him to the turf. And I'm not sure this is going to stand. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the shotgun, Wilson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a 1st down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
And that's Elliott, complete. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Check. Coming to you.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 2. They can still get a 1st down if they just get a yard out of this on 4th and very short. They'll run it with Elliott, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. To throw is Prescott. Buying time to his left. Oh, Prescott stripped. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wilson to throw again. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, this is fielded at the goal line. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Going to take a shot for Gallup, and that's caught inside the 30. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now it's Wilson. And he'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
That's a lot of points.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Tate. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Hey, man, watch the boot, watch the boot.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw. Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Mike, Mike 5-4. Here we go, D. Here I come again.
3rd and long for Prescott. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
It's got to the point when we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers, too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Check 4, check 4. Then we're going to 53.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Prescott, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And the Cowboys here on 3rd down bringing in an extra defensive back.
I got one. Check 26, check 26. Check.
Now Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Now Landry. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Now Elliott. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A 1st down carry by Elliott doesn't amount to much as he'll get forward for about a couple. Casey Hayward makes the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 44-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo. 14. 44.
Here's Wilson to throw. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Now Wilson. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Wilson steps away to his left. And he's going to keep it here. Touchdown, Dallas Cowboys. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted-for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice game.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's Prescott. Looking long for Thomas. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now Prescott. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
He's got his man. This is Tate. Yeah, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Check 43.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. First down, Prescott. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They start on the ground with Elliott. Elliott a 1st down and more. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown of the night. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Zerline now for the PAT. And that one could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead.
Makes the score Cowboys 21, Bears 5.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Prescott to throw it. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that'll be caught by Kupp. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Cooper Kupp, his first touchdown on the year, as they are able to cut into that lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Throwing, Prescott. And it's incomplete, but a flag is down here, so hang on. Let's see what we've got. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Cowboys are able to recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Bears' 42-yard line.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Now he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
It's a gain of 6. And the Cowboy 1st down.
Here's Wilson. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. The Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Wilson to throw. And finding the tight end, Hooper. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And they'll get this down to the 10. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Throwing now is Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Michael Thomas was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Prescott, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases,